Hi dear students, today we will discuss motion of a charged particle in a uniform magnetic field. To discuss the motion of a charged particle in a uniform magnetic field, so we need to know the equation of magnetic force. Okay, so magnetic force acting on a charged particle when it is moving in a magnetic field is given by Fml, right? Okay, so magnetic force is equal to Q into V cross B. Q into V cross B, or in scalar form I can write magnetic force is equal to Q into QVB sin theta. QVB sin theta. So what is theta here? Theta is the angle between velocity of the charged particle and magnetic field. Theta is the angle between velocity of the charged particle and the magnetic field. I'll write some conventions of representing magnetic field. Okay, so if I write like this, okay, it means that magnetic field is coming out of the plane of the paper. If I write magnetic field like this, so this is a into symbol, no? So then magnetic field is going into the plane of the paper. Okay. Now let me consider one simple situation. Say there is a uniform magnetic field. There is a uniform magnetic strength of the magnetic field, that will be B. There is a charged particle plus Q, having charge plus Q, is moving with the velocity V in the direction of magnetic field. Here, what is the angle between velocity and magnetic field? Angle between velocity and magnetic field, theta is equal to 0, because velocity and magnetic field both are acting in the same direction. So what is the magnetic force then? Magnetic force is equal to QVB sin 0. So sin 0 is 0. So magnetic force is 0. So similarly, if the charged particle is moving against the direction of magnetic field, say there is a uniform magnetic field here, and I have considered a charged particle. This charged particle is moving against the direction of magnetic field. That is, so this is the direction of velocity. Okay, velocity and magnetic field are in the opposite directions. So angle between velocity and magnetic field, so theta equal to 180 degree. So we also know that sin 180 degree is also equal to 0. So therefore magnetic force also will be equal to 0. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is whether the charged particle is moving parallel or anti-parallel to the magnetic field. If the charged particle is moving parallel or anti-parallel to the magnetic field, then magnetic force acting on it is 0. That means it moves as if nothing is there. Even though the charged particle is moving, charged particle is producing magnetic field, okay, and that is moving in a uniform magnetic field. Still charged particle moves as if nothing has happened. It moves as if there is no magnetic field. Okay, so this is very strange. Now we will go to the next case. Say there is a uniform magnetic field. So I have considered a uniform magnetic field. Okay, so this uniform magnetic field, according to the convention, this magnetic field is going into the plane of the paper. Everywhere magnetic field is going into the plane of the paper. Say the magnitude of the magnetic field is B. Let us suppose that a charged particle is fired from this point. Okay, charged particle plus Q is fired from this point with the velocity V. Now what happens? So according to Fleming's left-hand rule, okay, according to Fleming's left-hand rule, if the forefinger points the direction of magnetic field, okay, so forefinger gives the direction of magnetic field, that is into the plane of the paper. If the central finger gives the direction of velocity of the positive charge, then the thumb shows the direction of force acting on the charge. So you can imagine like this. Let this be the direction of velocity. Okay. or let this be the direction x, okay, x-axis, let this be the direction of y-axis. I'm trying to give an understanding. So this is z-axis and it is going into, say suppose it is going into the plane of the paper. So you have to see forefinger has to be pointed in this direction, okay, forefinger has to be pointed in this direction. So central finger will be giving the direction of velocity of charged particle. Then the thumb will point upwards, okay, thumb will give the direction of magnetic field. Dear students, you have to do this on your own, okay. So you should point your forefinger into the plane of the paper, and you should arrange your central finger such that it gives the direction of velocity of positive charge. Then definitely the thumb will be pointing upwards, okay, thumb will be pointing upwards. So this is the direction of centripetal force, due to which the charged particle starts moving like this, okay. So even here you can apply Fleming's left hand rule. So this will be the direction of velocity, okay. So magnetic field will be going into the plane of the paper, then thumb will give you this direction, okay. So there is a centripetal force, charged particle moves in a circular path. Now we will calculate the radius of the circular path followed by this charged particle. Now we will try to understand. Now here, when the charged particle is moving in a circular path like this, charged particle is moving like this, okay. So there is a outward centrifugal reaction, okay. So that should be equal to inward centripetal force. So centrifugal reaction is acting outwards, centripetal force is acting inwards. So this charged particle shouldn't escape also, it shouldn't fall down also. So what does it mean? If that has to happen, outward centripetal force should be equal to magnetic force, okay. Centrifugal reaction should be equal to magnetic force. So what is the equation for magnetic force? Magnetic force is equal to QEB sin theta. QEB sin theta should be equal to mv square by r. So what is theta here? We can understand what is theta. Angle between velocity and magnetic field. So magnetic field is going into, velocity is in this direction. So angle between velocity and magnetic field is 90 degrees. So sin 90 will be equal to 1. Sin 90 will be equal to 1. Okay, so therefore I can write QVB is equal to mv square divided by r. mv square divided by r. So this v and v get cancelled. So I can write an equation for radius. R is equal to mv by qb. R will be equal to mv by qb. Okay. Next, we can write the equation for time period of revolution. Okay. So what is time period of revolution? Time period of revolution means time required to for the charged particle, time required for the charged particle to complete one revolution. Time required for the charged particle to complete one revolution. So in one revolution, so time is equal to distance by speed, correct now? Time is equal to distance divided by speed. In one revolution, what is the distance traveled? Distance traveled will be equal to circumference of the circle, that is 2 pi r divided by velocity. Okay, our time period is equal to 2 pi by v into r. So we have written equation for r. What is r? R equal to mv by qb. Okay, so this v and v gets cancelled. So time period of revolution of a charged particle in uniform magnetic field is given by 2 pi m by qb. So what we have to observe is time period of revolution is independent of velocity and radius of the charged particle. So whatever may be the velocity of the charged particle, okay, if the velocity is more, radius will be more, okay, keeping the time period constant. So for a given for a given charged particle, for a given magnetic field, time period of revolution is a fixed quantity. So what is the frequency of revolution then? Frequency is equal to 1 by time period. Frequency of revolution will be given by therefore qb divided by 2 pi m. Frequency of revolution of a charged particle is given by qb by 2 pi m. Now we will move on to the next case. So first what we have discussed, first case was if theta is 0 degree or 180 degree, what happened we saw. Then what we saw, if theta is equal to 90 degree, what happens, that also we saw. We calculated the equation of radius, we calculated the equation of radius, we calculated the equation of time period. Time period is equal to 2 pi m by qb. Now we will look into a different situation wherein say this is a uniform magnetic field that we have considered. Okay, so I'm considering one uniform magnetic field. Okay, say the charged particle from this point, okay, say it is fired in this direction, okay, by making an angle theta with the magnetic field. The angle between velocity and the magnetic field, let it be theta. So then what happens? This velocity has two components. One component of velocity will be parallel to the direction of magnetic field. Another component of velocity will be perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. Okay, I'll write it as v parallel and v perpendicular. Okay. So what about, see, if you only consider this v parallel, okay, angle between v parallel and the magnetic field is 0 degree. So therefore due to v parallel, so there is a horizontal displacement of the charged particle. Angle between v perpendicular and the magnetic field is 90 degree. So due to which charged particle tries to move in a circular path. So now what happens we should understand, v parallel tries to move the charged particle along the horizontal. V perpendicular tries to rotate the charged particle in a magnetic field. So due to effectively what may happen is, okay, so what V perpendicular is doing, it is trying to revolve the charged particle in the magnetic field like this, okay, and V parallel is trying to move the charged particle forward. So effectively the nature of the path of the charged particle will look something like this. Okay, due to parallel component, it moves around the magnetic field. Due to perpendicular component, it tries to move in a circular path. So the nature of the path will be a helix. Okay, so it will move in a helical path. Now we will calculate the distance, the horizontal distance traveled by the charged particle in a time equal to time period. Okay, so that horizontal distance we call it as pitch of the helix. Okay, so therefore pitch of the helix, okay, I'll represent pitch as p is equal to, okay, horizontal component of velocity or parallel component of velocity of the charged particle, okay, into parallel component of velocity into time taken t. Okay, so what is the equation for time period? What is v parallel? V parallel is equal to, here if you look at this diagram, so okay, since it is along the horizontal and this angle is theta, v parallel is equal to v cos theta and v perpendicular is equal to v sin theta. So what happens? Pitch will be v parallel v cos theta into time period is 2 pi m by qb. So this is the equation for pitch of the helix. So we will revise whatever we have studied once. Okay. So equation of magnetic force is q into v cross b, or in scalar form it is qvb sin theta. Theta is the angle between velocity and magnetic field. Okay, so if I write like this, okay, the magnetic field is going out of the plane of the paper, so magnetic field will be going into the plane of the paper. Okay, now here in this situation, angle between magnetic field and velocity is 0 degree. Since sin 0 is 0, magnetic force acting on the charged particle is 0. In this case, angle between magnetic field and the velocity is 180 degree. Since sine 180 is 0, magnetic force acting on the charged particle is 0. That is, if the charged particle is moving such that it is parallel or anti-parallel to the magnetic field, then magnetic force is equal to 0. Now here we have considered a magnetic field such that magnetic field is going directed into the plane of the paper. Okay, so if the charged particle starts moving from this point with a velocity v, then it will experience a centripetal force. Magnetic force acting on the charged particle will be the source of centripetal force, due to which the charged particle will be moving in a circular path. So if the charged particle has to continuously move in a circular path, the centrifugal reaction, outward centrifugal reaction, should be equal to centripetal force. So that is the magnetic force. So QVB sin theta is equal to mv square by r. So at every point here, angle between velocity and the magnetic field is 90 degree. So sin 90 is equal to 1. So QVB equal to mv square by r. V and V gets cancelled. So we can write an equation for r. R will be equal to mv by qb. Then we have derived equation for time period. What is time period? Time required for the charged particle to complete one revolution. In one revolution, charged particle completes. So we have to calculate what is the distance traveled by the charged particle in one revolution divided by speed. In one revolution, charged particle covers a distance equal to circumference of the circle divided by speed. So then we'll write 2 pi by v and we'll substitute for r. We know that r is equal to mv by qb. V gets cancelled. We get an equation for time period which is independent of velocity and radius of the charged particle. Frequency of revolution is equal to inverse of time period. Okay, inverse of time period. So that will be qb divided by 2 pi m. Then if the charged particle is making an angle other than 0 degree, 90 degree or 180 degree, then the velocity will have two components. One is parallel component and perpendicular component. Theta is the angle between velocity and magnetic field. Then V parallel will be given by V cos theta. V perpendicular is given by V sin theta. So due to V cos theta, charged particle tries to move in a horizontal direction. Due to V sin theta, there will be a centripetal force acting on the charged particle. So charged particle tries to move in a circular path. So effectively, the charged particle will move in a helical path. So what is helix? Helix is the horizontal distance traveled by the charged particle in a time equal to time period. So pitch of the helix therefore can be calculated like horizontal component of velocity into time taken. Okay, horizontal component of velocity is v cos theta. Time period is equal to 2 pi m by qb. Therefore pitch of the helix is given by 2 pi m by qb into v cos theta. Thank you very much.